to the points that you're threatening to take.
We'll see these teams almost ready to get in. Looks like Team SoloMid is ready. We saw Dyrus chugging down his Red Bull just a few seconds ago, so he's probably all amped up.
He's not asleep at his keyboard.
Not at all. Nobody's yawning today. It's like they are super ready for this second week here. There's Tizza, tons of damage hat, trying to do tons of QC, and it looks like he's got Chris all fixed up. It's that easy. Bing, bang, boom.
There you go.
So, Chris,
have you tried turning it off and on?
Is it plugged in, sir? You can see the notebooks already out, ready for these guys. Looks like Chris is actually holding down this one for the team. Vile is not going to be the one to control, maybe just in the game. Once you get onto the gridiron, that's when Vile Rose gets loud. But champion select, it's Chris right here on your screen.
Yeah, you'll hear it when Vile Rose starts taking control.
So Chris looks like he's having a few audio issues. We're going to get that set up for him. He just can't get the pings in. It's pretty good for map awareness. Well, not just the pings. His sound.
Yeah,
the pings are good.
By the way, the smart ping system, that is one of the most amazing implementations for solo queue. Just have to shout out to whoever implemented that, because those have just enabled me, as a jungler specifically, to really climb up a lot on the solo queue ladder, because you can communicate so easily now. Instead of this anonymous ping that's like, do I run away from that spot, or am I coming to help you?
They only need one more. Yeah. Is there a reward here?
If you have been hesitant to adopt the smart ping system, I highly encourage it.
Absolutely. When something's real bad, you just use all four, and then people are like, something's going on.
Because this game relies so much on communication.
Yep.
So people have brought it up over and over, like the main difference between
you can have
something
too
like
much.
Yeah. The main difference between this and something like StarCraft is that this is a team game that's so reliant on working well with others. Right. And that's why it's such a good family game. You have to play nice with everybody else. But yeah, communication, and you can see it so clearly when one team have a shot caller that everyone agrees with, and they act on the same idea, whereas if the other team, the opponents, are split in any way, you will just pay for it completely and be devastated.
And you've heard of times, even when we've watched videos, we watch the sound bites from the players themselves. In Vile Rose, just in the last video, is kind of like, kite, 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 right? And sometimes that works. If you're winning the fight and nobody else needs to say anything, that's good. But sometimes that's a lot of just noise pollution, and somebody may need to get something out that's pertinent in the fight. So screaming that over and over, it is communication, but it can definitely hinder your gameplay if it's not the right communication.
And that's why people put so much emphasis on how much time these teams have had to practice with each other, because that's something that only comes really with playing with guys.
Absolutely.
And if you haven't played with them before and you don't know their tendencies, then
everybody's shouting and screaming. Oh, like a shoutcaster. Who would have thought? So Draven being banned out right away. They say a little bit of brotherly love right off the bat on both sides.
Draven's very popular with both of these AD carries, so that's kind of a double-edged sword there. I think that Caitlyn and Varus are going to be pretty hot points for this match then. Either team would love either of those AD carries now to take the place of that Draven.
Jason Thresh going out. Actually saw Jace last game, so he's 100% so far here in week 2. Getting banned out in this game. Kennen again, pick ban. Kazak's actually finding his way around to the ban list this time. Oh!
That's that.
I said he wasn't going to get it. He gets it. Call me a liar.
Wouldn't get. TSM, classic TSM right here. This is definitely a first pick that they're extremely comfortable leading off with, because Reggie will play Karthus into anything. He's fine with playing back, even though he's used to going all in and being very aggressive in that mid lane. He would be fine playing back with that Karthus and CSing from afar with those late wastes, as they show their hand a little bit there and then back off of it, deciding Shen is even of higher importance.
Absolutely. Well, even thinking if Vile Rose isn't going to take that and nobody else is, there's no pressure on showing what they're going to go mid first, and you get a little bit of mind game out of it.
Yeah, we haven't seen Vile Rose use that Karthus anytime soon, whereas Dyrus is a huge fan of that Shen. And I talked to him last week during our interview. What does first picking Shen do to the whole game? Like, just from that first pick of the pick ban phase, shifts the entire mentality that Velocity are thinking right now, because they're immediately thinking objectives now, because there's going to be that goal pressure. As soon as Dyrus hits 6, the 6th man right there, Or it's the 5th man, but you know the shield maybe. Yeah, it's the 5th man. It's gonna be available. It's gonna be available anywhere on the map. And the classic global comp here from TSM could come out. If they went Karthus and Nocturne right here, it'd just be a flashback to Season 2, where they just combo the Nocturne plus Shen die buddies, and then having Reggie on Karthus too is just TSM. It just has TSM written all over it.
That would be some cool stuff. We'll have to see what they choose to go. They do go with the Sona, saying meh. See this pick, here it is. It's not showing anything.
Okay.
They go with the Sona pick. They have the Karthus. It was earlier, so it wasn't a mind game. They actually decided to go with it. I actually did not think people would let Reginald get Karthus, but Velocity has some different things in mind, and it's not unstoppable to destroy a Karthus, right? It looks like they have a team that can get past a wall pretty well.
And so much utility coming in. It looks like it might be a top support, actually, Lissandra.
Yeah.
Ooh, support Lissandra, because they're not going to do a support Orianna. So it'll probably be that support Lissandra coming to the first time here for North American LCS. She's pretty popular.
We thought we would see this a lot more in week 1, along with Sejuani. There was Sejuani play, but we definitely thought we'd see some support Lissandra.
I mean, Europe was really a big...
Or top.
She was huge in Europe, but that was solo laners. This is probably going to be that support unless they do something extremely new here.
Lord.
And Velocity could do, you know, some very weird strategy. They're definitely known for it. Both the Varus and the Caitlyn picked up.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that one.
just for the crowd control, really the Varus picked up there, but Wild Turtle, like you said, somebody's going to want that Caitlyn, and it goes to the hands of the Turtle. Looks like the odd one may be bringing out Zach here, which still kind of gives them their range they're looking for on the initiation that you'd get with Nocturne, but a little less.
He won't have the Nocturne Darkness initiate from half a screen away, but Elastic Slingshot is just as good, and the cooldown on that thing is so quick that they can still, if he's able to get a good Elastic Slingshot from Fog of War, like I always say, Fog of War, the control over vision in this game is going to be even more important than usual when you have someone who initiates from really long range like that.
Yeah.
Similar to when you have a Blitzcrank or a Fiddlesticks on your team or something. Okay, there it is. It's the the wild card here from Velocity. This one is NK Inc.'s actually patented Jungle Master Yi, very, very farm heavy, which will get a huge buff in this 3.8 patch because of the respawn timers. The reduction on the timers of the small camps 10 seconds earlier benefits champions that clear super fast like Master Yi.
So there has to be a safe laning phase then, because you look at the other lanes and it says 0 crowd control. Where are the ganks going to come from? Is it really just a farm game until team fights for them?
It's funny you mentioned that crowd control, because they pick so much crowd control with their support and even their AD carry that Velocity actually still have a lot of ground control, especially in the duo lane. Lissandra, she's listed as a control mage. Like, she is very...
Once you get to that 6, you can lock everybody up.
She is very CC heavy, so they're not lacking on that CC, even though they went pure damage from the jungle standpoints. We'll have to see... NK Inc. usually likes to counter gank more when he's on that Master Yi, because initiating ganks with him are a little dangerous. He is very squishy. As a melee carry, you focus more on putting out damage than building super tanky, like someone like Zach.
All right, so we'll have to see if they can get 6 as fast as possible to get that crowd control into effect. The laning phase might be a little hard for them. We'll have to see how much aggression TeamSoloMid gives them as we are hopping onto the rifts. You see behind us, TeamSoloMid versus Velocity Esports for Game 2 here on Week 2. Rivington the third and Kobe bringing it to you live as the players just want another breather before we get into the match. So yeah, we have the Yi versus the Zac in the jungle. Like you said, knowing this early jungle, is that going to be... do you hurt Yi that bad with the new jungle if you invade him?
Yeah, I mean, you hurt anybody really badly if you're able to...
Well, we saw Lee last game, right, kind of get hit up, and he wasn't. Meteos was still fine off.
If they are able to make a successful buff steal, then it definitely is a huge blow, even to someone like Yi. He has taken Flash on Yi, so you can try and counter jungle a little bit because you have that escape mechanism. You can go over one of the walls, but it is definitely very dangerous. And I have to say something else about this TSM comp that's pretty scary is that it's pretty much tailored for tower diving once the solo laners hit level 6. TSM are already known as a huge tower diving team. When you have a jungler that's Zac, who's got a revive passive, plus you have 2 globals in your 2 solo lanes that can add damage to a gank down bottom, it's very, very, very dangerous here for whatever early dive TSM decide to go for, because they've got a revive passive, a giant shield, and extra damage from Requiem that will all come in to whichever lane does get that gank. So I would not be surprised to see a lot of tower diving here from this TSM team.
So we got a pretty much super go level 6 for both teams. Just kind of like press that R and hope for wishful thinking. So we're waiting to get into this one. Look at a few of the first buys. We do have the Elixir buy for Dyrus in the top lane. Red Elixir on Shen.
Yeah, he's a pretty big fan of that one on Shen, actually. People don't expect Shen to be able to bully you out and be a strong presence in lane. It's going to be interesting to see. Like we said, the 3.8 level 1s will determine so much. Even the lane matchups, you can't be sure where the lane matchups are going to go before the level 1 does unfold. If Dyrus does end up going up against Vlad, then you want to put early pressure on Vlad before he gets his cooldown reaction ramping up. So Red Elixir is great, is a great early buy. Even on a melee like Shen, he can bully out the early Vlad before he gets to that sort of annoying phase where he can constantly sustain himself by spamming his Qs and regenning.
So we're waiting for, I believe, Reggie. Quick little bug for him. We're going to get fixed up and back into the game. As you can see, I'm speaking to Tiz there as they get everything worked out. So we're getting into game number 2, TeamSoloMid versus Velocity. There's man Reggie on your screen actually getting Karthus, I believe, for the first time in this split. Was he able to pull it out in the Super Week?
Yesterday? I like that question.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's why we got our stat man. They'll look that up real quick. But they have definitely not had a Master Yi. I'll go out on a limb and say that there was no Master Yi yesterday.
Would you?
Yeah, last week. Yes, I would. That was a freak level pun right there. I like that one. Yeah. You get props for that.
So we got Chris looking at the Rejuve bead to come out there. I was going to say Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, but I'm sure he doesn't need too much mana regen.
So it's interesting, actually, the 2 spirit items that the jungle, the Spirit of the Elder Lizard and the Spirit of the Elder Wraith, which were the attack damage and ability power options, were taken down by 10 damage and 10 ability power, respectively, whereas the Spirit of the Ancient Golem was left as is. So that's kind of why I'm such a huge fan of that Spirit of the Ancient Golem. It also might have to do with the fact that I pretty much exclusively play Udyr right now, but love that tanky jungle item. So I think it's a great buy on any of these, either of these 2 champions. Even though Master Yi, like we said, melee AD carries, he's going to have to build some damage, and we're really going to see this is a true test of, do the jungle changes encourage these carry junglers, this AD carry? Well, I'm guessing it's an AD Master Yi. It could actually be AP.
He has 7
He's
AP
got
on
7.
7.
So it could be an AP Master Yi, actually. Now that I think about it, he's played about
if
the same level.
With Hemo play and then Alpha Strike, I think it's going to be the AP Master Yi because of the composition between that. But if they don't have much AD if he does go AP.
If it is, then that's a whole bunch of AP damage from Velocity.
They don't have the switch up.
We'll probably see TSM will react to that pretty quickly. As soon as they see Master Yi come out from the jungle with a substantial amount of AP, then we'll definitely be seeing a Bulwark rush on someone like Dyrus or the Odd One, or even X Special. But the Bulwark would be key. If that's an AP Master Yi, this is very, very, very AP heavy team for Velocity.
It is super risky if they are going to be able to do that. We're going to get a quick restart onto this one since nothing happened. That's going to be clean for both of the teams to just get back in onto this one. Reginald had a quick store problem. Could have been anything from res to just not being able to click on the store. So he will get back into the game. No worries there. And we'll get this one underway quite soon. A little brotherly matchup as we have TeamSoloMid versus Velocity eSports, the Odd Bro versus Maple.
I was going to say that's an interesting first buy here by Reggie, because he had a pink ward, a vision ward in his inventory. I was going to say, oh, Reggie's such a team player. He's going for an early vision for the 3.8 level 1 strat. But they will be restarting here, so this one, and it is going to be the same bands, by the way, guys.
Absolutely.
We're not going to let them, you know, switch anything up after seeing the strategy from Velocity, especially against a team like Velocity that are known so much for their theory crafting and their overall strategies. If you let them re-pick after that, it would be not very sportsmanlike.
Right. You can see the refs on each side making sure everything is going cleanly. You have them walking behind them every so often and then walking between both rooms to make sure that everybody running the same runes, nobody tried to change anything between the fact, and it's just going to be done 110% the same way. So waiting for TeamSoloMid to get back in. They're just joining in line like we said they do. It actually helps so many things, and the fact that they do it in scrims helps us as well. It's pretty great to watch. So Kobe's checking out some room pages, so I'll get that information for you in a few seconds on what some people will be running going into this. We're actually going to check that Master Yi room page. It would be pretty nice if we could get to
working
that.
on it. You called me out a little earlier there. It's working tough. It's working overtime. Keep that one under wraps so I can actually read it. But yeah, that's going to be probably an AP Master Yi now that, you know, 7 AP, not a lot of other places that could come from this early in the game. So it'll probably be that AP Master Yi. And that would mean that it'll be a very heavy AP composition. So we'll have to see. It's going to be hybrid runes. He's gone with Life Steal Quince and then hybrid Marks.
Okay.
So this is a very adaptable Master Yi, you know, all around. And since even if you build AP, he does still have tremendous auto attack damage because of that Wuju style.
Yeah.
That hot Wuju style.
Getting all the extra damages for himself, especially on that
29 offense, by the way, his masteries, and 1 in utility for the flash cooldown reduction. He's put that one mastery in the utility for the flash cooldown, but he has gone. He's definitely going AP here. It's hybrid. He's got both penetrations, the magic penetration and the armor penetration. So he's going to go with a hybrid Master Yi, hybrid jungle Master Yi, guys, going to come out here. So this is why I'm so excited to see Velocity games.
I think we can kind of confer from this. Obviously, we said earlier, was it because Prolly and NK Inc.? But now that Prolly's out, Prolly just added a little bit more zaniness to it. NK Inc. still willing to do this very much so on his own with the team now with Vile Rose in mid. It's a little bit more him this time. He doesn't have like a Janna mid to help him out, right, in the situation of the strat. But this is him trying out Yi. We may see this all season from Velocity because of NK Inc.
I like how they bring new things to the table. It's not always going back to that old Jungle Ezreal strat. But by the way, it was NK Inc. who first started that the Jungle Ezreal early shoving composition. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting hybrid build right here from him. And with their AD carry being Varus, also a lot of hybrid damage there. So they're going to be definitely hard-pressed to come up with that first bulwark, this TSM team.
It's going to be bit, especially if he goes mid. I can tell you how much you may hate a Karthus versus Yi matchup. And even when you have an Orianna throwing things at you, that's going to be even tougher. There may not be crowd control, like I said before, from that. But there is so much kill potential right off the bat.
I want to see the super speed Master Yi pop his ultimate and then come in so fast with his Alpha Strike that he pops the Sonic Wave. Supersonic Master Yi. Gonna come at you guys.
We'll see if we can go Supersonic on game 2 here as we are now onto the Rift. Reginald does not have a pink ward. We're good to go. Moving to the third and Kobe, bringing you the TeamSoloMid versus Velocity eSports game before Freakin' Jack close out the day with 2 more games.
Pings on the mid section here, all coming out from Velocity. So this all important 3.8 level 1s. We'll have to see if the defensive wards come out from both teams because we saw that payoff so big for Counter Logic.
Ivaniscus throwing down some early wards for the invade towards blue. Oh, I thought that was going to be a personal ward. Chris was just going to be a human ward, but they
got that one.
Yeah, that was
It
pretty cheeky.
feels so good to burn down a ward with pure auto attacks.
Everybody at home is cheering, guaranteed. There's a cheer happening. I can hear it. Wow, they are just brute force. They're like, we took out a ward. We can push anything. So they're just running around right now, especially even walking off by himself. So with the vision of 2 or 3, they feel like they own the jungle.
And they've got their deep wards placed here. So this is already a tricky situation here for NK Inc. And it looks like Odd One definitely going to be looking to pressure that early. He's got so much more information that NK Inc. is going to have to be working with.
Chris keeping himself calm and laughing in the river. Ivaniscus towards the top lane. We already see that Chris warded bottom, so he's keeping himself safe in that lane for the long haul. His rejuve bead to keep him there. Looks like he's going to be in the 1v1.
Ooh.
Dyrus goes to the bot lane, and they actually pink here. They may just be afraid of Reginald getting that pressure mid from Yi.
So much emphasis put on this red side control for TSM right now. They really, really want to slow down this Master Yi jungle before he starts going.
Whoa, that's some damage right there. The flash goes in. Wild Turtle, one more shot, and he gets first blood to come out on Evaniscus. Kind of scratching his head, giving it a shake.
That's what happens when they pink ward the middle river to take out your vision. You don't want to go face checking, and TSM are going to be able to steal away the red without their jungler. Odd1 picks up TSM red, while Wild Turtle picks up Velocity red.
NK Inc. actually gets a very good Alpha Strike proc on that, and he is out and moving right now, so he may be able to catch up a little bit. Odd1 still actually keep in line with him, just behind a bit. Chris taking some damage. Dyrus going hard onto Chris here. The auto attack's taking a good chunk.
So Alpha Strike was actually smoothed out a little bit. The proc chances are not so big anymore. I mean, not so small at the early levels. You got the 50% for the extra damage, although the damage itself was lowered a little bit. So a little bit more predictable, although there is still that, you know, half chance of unpredictability.
And this Wild Turtle with 1 kill. He does have the Doran, so he's not using the kill to scale yet, but he is up 11 CS to the 1 of Maple Street. They're going to make him pay for Evaniscus going down.
Yeah, that plus red buff, Caitlyn red buff is ridiculous early lane phase.
Chris.
Even if they brought, Dyrus going to go all in with that red pot. Whew. So, yeah, what I was going to say before, even if they do come gank with NK Inc., that Master Yi gank on a top lane right now would be bad for Velocity. Wild Turtle and Xpecial could easily turn that one around using that red buff and using the experience advantage that they got from both the red buff and the level 1. I mean, people complain about double buff experience advantage level 1. A 340 experience buff plus first blood is giant, and you can see them punishing Maple Street and Evaniscus.
They're keeping a level up on him right now. The pokes are going to hurt that much more, and you can see the piercing arrows aren't even hurting Wild Turtle. He's just able to stand there, and he is. His confidence in just outside turret range.
Because even if the gank came, it would have to be 2 members of Velocity coming over to roam, and that's really not an option right now for them. So Wild Turtle and Xpecial, we talked about it in the pre-game. It would be so important for them to really get going and carry this game. If they don't with this start, then they're going to be facing a lot of criticism from a lot of people. But it looks like they're just taking this one and running with it.
Well, NK Inc., you gotta give respect as well to Velocity after that kill. They are realizing, right, that gank shouldn't happen top lane. He's still going for Wraiths. He's still going for Wolves. I mean, I remember Jat saying, as the new jungle patch was coming out and they were testing it in the live design area, he's like, I don't even want to leave the jungle. Everything's up all the time. So that's what NK Inc. is going to be doing. Like you said, farm heavy until he can make an impact.
Yeah, so the salvation for NK Inc. is that the spawn timers were reduced on the smaller camps. He's continually farming those up. As you can see, he's doing race right now, and double golems already respawn, so he can keep going up there. But the Season 2 sort of strategy TSM went with the stealing that red buff and without their jungler, with just the AD carry and support plus mid laner help, really huge start for them.
So instead of buying, Wild Turtle's trying to keep this to a level and CS advantage here instead of just trying to push Maple Street out. They want the turret as fast.
Oh, here goes Odd1 on the middle. He got the flash.
Vile Rose going down pretty low here. It's the first time we're really seeing Vile Rose on not Kale champion or something alike. He's going to go on flash, like you said. Going to be another point of interest for Odd1 now to come up in a few minutes.
So that was a gank enabled by the early pink ward. Just before the pink ward ran out, Odd1 goes over there to make use of it. And now if Vile Rose is able to go back and buy something, then he could regain vision of that, but it's a little late for this top lane.
TSM-esque, 5 minutes, the turret very low, only going to take a few more shots. This wave may be the one to do it, and this is the part where NK Inc. can hover the lane. He's not going to try for anything. This is the I need to soak up experience with you guys, but here comes Reggie.
So what NK Inc.'s hoping right now is an overcommitment from Wild Turtle and Xpecial, but look at Reggie coming in.
There, Evaniscus tries to go in. Xpecial goes out. Reginald from the side. A great wall kind of splits up the fight. The Alpha Strike goes in. NK Inc. won't go down here. No, the meditate goes out. Wild Turtle nets right into the turret.
Yeah, he was gonna go for the finish right there, but halfway flying with his back towards the turret, decided, never mind, I'll just walk right out of this one.
The meditate will make you think twice for sure. Coming up on 6 minutes here, the turret about to go down. Just a few more shots. That's going to be some good gold and a 2,000 gold lead. Quite quick here for TSM.
That roam up there from Reggie was really key right there. They knew that there was going to be something extra that they needed to take down that turret. They were able to topple that one over, and it looks like they're going to be able to shove this top lane because there's plenty of deep wards. All you have to do, continually ward up that lane, and the lead that they have will not have to be lost. They can either send them back top or rotate down.
Dyer's going old school here, picking up the door and shield. Pretty much just regen along with Chris. Not getting those blades out just fine. He's still got the potions, and he's trying to use Vorpal Blade just to get all his damage in. Chris trying to regen. He should be good, though, up by level 9. Dyrus may start having some trouble here. Yeah,
Dyrus is already going to start having trouble because he spent so much time trying to kill Chris. Here comes the odd one. He can hit this one, but there's so many answers for Chris.
Oh, wait, that's 20% of his HP! They're going to be able to get this kill, but can they get out? The passive onto the odd one and Hemoplague. They're going to be fine here. It will be an Alpha Strike. No, it will not.
It doesn't matter because, you know, odd one has
he would have popped
the cell division. So that I guess we can count that as a tower dive. I'll take that one and say that was a TSM tower dive right there.
Chris should have pooled the initial bounce.
If you don't have the life for it and you don't have flash, then even if you do pool, all Dyrus has to do is stay in with that one. Great job by Dyrus sticking on that. I was gonna say that up until that point, you know, his efforts of bullying Chris out were not coming to anything because he had bought a red elixir even to try and bully him hard and was still behind in CS. So the odd one really made up the difference right there. If it wasn't for the odd one, Dyrus would have technically lost that lane.
I guess if you think about it, it was fluxing in the way that Chris was starting to get more aggressive in that, thinking he was winning. So it was almost the perfect time for a gank there once Dyrus started to lose. The lanes get switched up here. Odd one actually going to middle, being very omnipresent. They missed the shockwave. Vile Rose almost out of mana. Definitely does not have the escape here. Goes down as the odd one picks himself up a kill after getting an assist for Dyrus in the bottom lane.
Great flash there by Reggie. Nice juke, and they are able to get out another free kill. This early steamroll from TSM looks like it's not slowing down anytime soon.
Nope, they are pressing right down to this turret. Caitlyn asks Q all day on the waves and get to the turret as fast as possible. A little bit of support here from NK Inc. But like we said, it's not going to be an early composition for these guys. That was a pull at the right time. The Peacemaker, oh my gosh! At the right exact second comes up. Will they decide to follow? Special low on mana. Odd one only pursuing on the side.
Turtle mechanics right there. Nice Peacemaker over the side. Just timing the pool from Vladimir perfectly. So as soon as he pops back up out of that blood pool, he only dies.
So ridiculous. Didn't even look to grab turret aggro on that one. It happened so quick and the death just went out. Dragon for them, they are just controlling each lane with the utmost force and really not worrying about anything.
I'm kind of sad that we really haven't been able to see, you know, Velocity's idea that they had with the comp because of such a strong early start for TSM. Velocity are just in panic mode right now. Losing the Dragon on top of this means this is a giant gold lead. For only 9 minutes in, 5K is tremendous.
And it's only really taunting somebody to go after your jungle. You use such a dependent jungler on what buffs they're going to have, especially Yi. He's not going to stick his sword between your legs and crowd control you. He needs that red buff. So you steal that away. Where are you for your next red buff? You're pretty much in your jungle like we've seen him being.
Yeah, it's all about the increased experience levels for those two. That just snowballed Wild Turtle's lane so hard. Wild Turtle and X Special just completely crushing right now. Looks like we got a little mouse on the floor.
So it looks
Reggie's
like
scared of mice.
Reggie just got repelled on by a spider, and Elise is in the studio and apparently has had a pause in the game. So we are getting Elise.
We'll save you, Reggie. Don't worry.
That or Christina V came to dance with him. I'm not sure. It's one of the. Oh, I think he found it. Dyrus finding it. Goes to getting the spider. He gets help from QC. It looks like he's going to be all right, though. We may just get the shoot for this one.
Oh, and they're coming in with the folded up paper.
Oh, Ignite! Oh, the surprise Ignite takes him out.
Odd one's fine.
All right, odd one's okay. Good. We still had cell division anyways.
Yeah, it was good with that one.
All right. Best pause
now, back to this game, though. You can see that Chris has also gone into panic mode because after the second death, he's got gold per 10 items right now. He's gone with the Cage's lucky pick, so he's going with the long haul here, just trying to wait for the late game. Evanescence does initiate.
Oh man, can they get that down? Oh, the damage on NK Inc, but he gets in the fight. The Meditate goes down. Who are they going to focus? Wild Turtle in the back line just firing shots off as he looks down the scope. There's the odd one coming in. He still has that passive up, but it does not look like they engage anymore. Chris comes in. The Hemo Plague is down. He is all over Wild Turtle, getting a little bit of that ghost on. Oh, the barrier saved. The transfusion isn't there. Dyrus gets out of the fight as well. So much chaos.
That was a really good trade actually for Velocity. When you're behind, you want to make the trades like that, and they have a slight advantage right now. If they can actually get an objective after that, that will be huge for them.
Dyrus trying to do what he can here in this mid lane. Velocity needs this turret. They are 2-0 on that global gold right now and down 5,000 gold 10 minutes in.
This is very dangerous for them though because Oddwin is in the wings. Dyrus goes for the taunt to start it up.
Dyrus knows that initial attack of all three can't kill him, so he stays there. They're just initiating with bits of health right here. The teeth are falling out, but they're still coming out with kills. Oddwin's still in the fight. The South Division finally pops. Requiem is down for quite a while here, so they're just looking to get the Skittles out. Taste the Rainbow coming in onto Chris. And it looks like they're going to be able to go down in the turret as well, and they didn't even lose their mid.
Oh, that Cell Division, such a strong...
Oh, God, no! The base from downtown!
Wild Turtle from the half-court line right there. Sniper indeed. Headshot from Wild Turtle. Beautiful.
Oh, absolutely amazing. 11 minutes in here, nothing short of awesome in this matchup. Velocity trying to pull themselves back around here. That Master Yi jungle, it was thwarted in the beginning, but hopefully can come, you know, into light here for the next few minutes of these guys. We'd had that good gank in mid that kind of went awry on a strong push on the mid turret. If Velocity had just held there, they'd be all right now. But it was TSM taking advantage of Dyrus with 100 health and Odd1 with 100 health and somehow coming up on mid turret.
So right now, it's pretty easy for TSM since they have the global advantage. Dyrus, he can just farm up. He doesn't even have to actually have his Stand United up right now since TSM's so strong. They can just hold off Velocity until Stand United does come back off cooldown and then go for that dive that we keep looking for with this TSM composition. Cell Division is a 5-minute cooldown just like Flash though,
wow.
So it's going to take another 4 minutes or so before that one comes back.
So I think Wild Turtle had enough of everybody saying, you didn't do enough in Super Week. You're just playing mechanically well, mentally well. You just saw him queue out Evaniscus trying to back her to the top. I think that was actually NK Inc. He's just doing all the small things to harass as well as now being 4-0-1 and being those initiators with the team in the fight.
And I like the adaptations of TSM. As a team, they decided to try and get an early advantage for Wild Turtle because they have been having, you know, a little bit lackluster performances. Going for that early red, and here goes Reggie flashing in for the kill.
Reggie goes hard. The Hemo Plague is out. The Requiem is up. So if everything, actually, he's going to be living here even with Requiem. Reggie blows exhaust for that.
2 big cooldowns for Reggie actually right there, and no follow-up. He does have Requiem available now, but he's not low enough.
Ooh, that's a little sour. Bittersweet coming in for Reginald here. There's the exhaust down. It may be another trade here. No, NK Inc. is going to be the one to grab the kill, but it's onto Maple Street for the 1-for-1. And the Requiem comes out, and he still picks himself up a kill after the engagement.
The early pull by Chris. Reggie does wait for until the last second where he could still cast Requiem while in his passive, and Chris just itchy trigger finger there. Pulled off the...
You can see he's not happy with himself on the screen. He knows.
Way too quick. He knows.
He's giving himself a talk to right now.
He knew that he had the perfect counter.
Yeah.
But he used it too early.
Odd1 looking to get out of this. The double buff NK Inc. still pretty scary. And his full build is going. He's got 2 Doran's rings actually coming out. So he is going full AP on that Yi. Sork boots. Looks like we're going to have Dyrus take out the top turret with Turtle. And they may just stay to pressure this since they know they're not getting pressure from Baron yet. It's only 13 minutes. TSM doing work.
Yeah, the Dyrus split push there, even when his cooldown for Stand United was still ticking, did so much work that Reggie drawing attention to the top there enabled him to get a free turret without even having to use his cooldown. So Reggie doing a nice split push.
And we have a replay of the Varus kill that Odd1 was able to pick up on his bro.
So let's take a look at that off camera. Nice elastic slingshot under the turret. Brotherly love right here, especially with the follow-up crescendo, and there was nothing.
How nice of him.
That Odd Bro Jr. could pull off.
That's all right. He's taking notes. He's figuring it out. His brother's just being nice to him. So we'll have to see what they can produce now. It looks like TeamSoloMid is kind of on the back foot, but still on the offensive. They're just in their
kind
own
of on
jungle.
the back foot? They are stomping this
Oh, they
one.
are, but they're in their jungle right now. They're not looking for a fight. They're
so
farming it up.
They're on their back foot only because their front foot is raised to smash down on velocity.
That's exactly where that was going.
Yeah, here we go. Wild Turtle 2 versus 1. He gets the Shen ulti though.
There comes AcuteWombat as well onto Chris in that mid area near the river. Coming around. NK Inc. changes his mind. He was making a fast beeline towards Wild Turtle in the bottom lane, but they do not want any of that. They said the fight's going to be around Dragon. We should focus down Reginald. Requiem is down. An easy fight for them. They can really go hard on this. Chris to actually get pushed out of the fight. The Peacemaker just missing on the backside. Odd1 flashes a few inches in front of him, but it picks up the kill. He's going to get red buff onto this. Vile Rose is slowed down. Maple Street just to help NK Inc. get out. There. Oh, and Polestar is closer. How unfortunate. Vile Rose sentences himself to death.
This is just TSM too far ahead for Velocity to win these small skirmishes. They're trying to take advantage of the positioning, but not able to pull this off. Another free Dragon for TSM means that they're going to boost their lead even more. And the reason why Velocity are really lacking right now is because AP Master Yi, the whole theory behind this champion is that it's a reset champion. You pop your ultimate, and then when you get that first kill, after you Alpha Strike, it'll reset and you can Alpha Strike again. So your whole kit relies on getting that first kill, and you can't even get that first kill when your team's so far behind. So the Master Yi, AP Master Yi snowball, it doesn't even have a chance when you're so far behind.
Oh, Reggie tried this last time. That ward is going to give away his spot, but he gets it. Oh, the Alpha Strike's been used. He still has Meditate, so they'd be able to work with that a little bit. Reginald, it's not good when you can have one guy roaming around creating pressure on the entire map when that's also what his ultimate does.
Yeah, Reggie's a man like Karthus. He's not afraid of pushing by himself because...
Unless they're spiders.
Unless they're spiders. And then he'll jump out of his chair and call for the odd one.
See where they're going with this special to clear some wards now. We have the Oracle coming out. Aveniscus, not so much. He's actually still sitting on that first sight stone as well, so you can see how much that's hurt. He is actually looking for NK Inc. to even make his roam here, and they can't really decide what they want to do at this point.
A lot of pinks coming out here on the red side jungle for TSM. They know they have complete control. Even oh, what a smite!
Smitty Smody smited, took it away right there. 17 minutes. Aveniscus, what are you doing in the middle? It looks good, but he went down.
He's showing us how you initiate with Lissandra. This is support Lissandra initiate without backup.
I think
doesn't work.
There was a little bit of communication though as these guys walk in. They're kind of just telegraphing these fights. Like I said, this is how far they are ahead. 4-0-5 the odd one, a 6-0-3 Wild Turtle, and just the communication on that red. You know, NK Inc. didn't say I'm going in to smite this, so Aveniscus thought he needed help when in reality both of them could have walked out. One person died for that.
Yeah, and Velocity's chances right now are so low. It's really, it's not even worth saying a number here. So TSM, like, they really just have to basically not start Baron and hand it over to Velocity. Right now, all they have to do is shove in. They don't even have to go get Baron themselves. They can completely ignore the new magnet and just shove right in on the base, which is what they're doing. Darius can continue split pushing all he wants. He has his Stand United, and he can solo anyone on Velocity right now.
And again, TSM putting so much focus just on the top side. Red's gone. Red was smited away, but they know that is a lane that kept going to. Chris goes there. We've seen as well Maple Street up in that top lane, but it's not something that Velocity can push right now. And TSM is working all of those little lanes to their advantage. Look how many wards they have in the top and even bottom jungle.
So they're starting up Baron, but they're probably going to turn around as soon as they catch somebody from Velocity. Looks like it'll be Aveniscus.
3 people running away from Reginald right now, and he is actually going to blast into the fight. He goes straight for Aveniscus. There's no crowd control for the fight, but they were able to take out Sona, so that's back to the other side. Touche there, Velocity. Let's see if they continue the fight here. AcuteWombat looks to almost go down. He gets out. The passive looks to still be up for him as well. Wild Turtle and Reginald to finalize the kill on Chris. Cannot transfuse enough health back, and they can push whatever they want.
Baby Zach walks away. Cell division intact right now, and you can see right there, Dyrus Shen ulted on Wild Turtle, even though it was like special on Sona getting blown up because he was a little bit worried and he wanted to get the extra HP on his AD carry, but that's the job of support. Sometimes you just got to bite the dust.
Yeah, it's true.
They'll sacrifice you first, special.
13,000 gold in the lead. That's a nice chunk of change, even if you divide it by 5 for everybody here. And we see that's a Warmogs coming in. We 9,000 gold, and it's going to be the highest in the game. Right now, the closest person behind Wild Turtle is a deficit of 4,200 gold.
I'm wondering why TSM have decided not to siege up, and they decided not to use that Stand United to siege both top and bottom lanes, since they're so far ahead. And they have Caitlyn, who's amazing at poking down turrets. NK Inc. just will not let his jungle go here. Another good job by him protecting that one.
And you can just see how well this game is going. We kind of talk about an average item being well and built at 14 to 16 minutes, and that's awesome. Before 20 minutes, that Phantom Dancer, Berserkers, and Infinity Edge were in the hands of Wild Turtle.
And that's just goes to further the point that they should probably be sieging up one of those turrets, because he can knock it down really quickly. You know, when they had that Stand United cooldown up, it would have been pretty easy. But it looks like Stand United down now, and TSM are going to have to pincer movements and try and catch velocity here. Dyer's coming from the other side.
He goes right on to NK Inc. They try to shut down that quick damage right away. No, Evaniscus throws himself into the back of the fight. Will he be able to ult? A pretty good shockwave going off on Reginald, but that's what he wants. He wants to be closer. Give him the hugs. A good shutdown onto Reggie. That's much needed gold coming in for Vile Rose, but Reggie gets the double kill, coming down onto Yi and Vladimir. This is not looking good right now. It was a 3-2, but TSM still coming out strong in these fights.
And there's no jungler up now for Velocity, so NK Inc.'s smiting skills that he's been displaying won't be a factor in this Baron still. It'll have to be a combo here from Varus and Orianna, which, to be fair, they have a fairly high damage combo. If you can get that Orianna combo synced up with the piercing arrow from Varus, then they could very well steal it, and it'll have to be up to Odd1 here to time his smite perfectly.
We saw in that fight that there is enough kind of, you know, disposition or repositioning and just being pushed around by ultimates, and having Evaniscus be in there to hold the command shockwave down with his ultimate. But it's just the fact that TSM can walk around it, right? Reginald wants to be in that. Like I said, he's okay if he goes down, and playing aggressive from Reginald and dying, that's a perfect style for him.
Yeah, that's why he's a big fan of Karthus to begin with. And we talked about, you know, TSM being so far ahead, but I think even if they do come out with the victory of this one, they probably won't be perfectly satisfied with the gameplay that's gone on, because they could have been so much cleaner in executing the end of this game right now. And it's been a couple of mislaid plans already that they have not been able to capitalize on their lead and not been able to finish this one.
Very true. It's not often you see 9 to 8 kills on 2 separate people.
There we go,
Rose taking shots. This could be one of those final movements that they need to make here. It looks like they're going to back off. This has been the TSM team that says we kill somebody and something must happen after, but is it going to?
I want to listen in on their voice comm right now, because Dyrus is the one who's calling Baron a noob magnet, yet they keep going back to that Baron even when they have a 4 to 5 man advantage and a fed Caitlyn. That would be great for sieging down turrets. Well, Chris
They're
has
trying to get it. They get the slow cord down onto Chris. There comes the chain of corruption across. Oh, Chris gets so low very quick. The flash in from Reginald puts himself in. Evaniscus only hits him with the Lissandra ulti. Maple Street could go down. A good chunk of 800 damage or so coming out there, but he is going to be forced back to the base. They finally find their way onto the front doorstep.
Merciless Odd1. He did get the slow onto his brother, but let him off with a warning. Not going to chase him down.
He got him on the replay last time. That one will stick in his memory. Dyrus going to be the one to just sit in the front and tank this, and it's only the Athene's Unholy Grail and the Sword Boots coming in for Vile Rose. These guys are not looking at second core items yet, and Wild Turtle's on to that last Whisper almost already.
So because of this play, oh, and looks like the red buff on Wild Turtle.
There's the ultimate command shockwave, went perfect, dodges the bounce. Oh, he should be able to get out of this one alive. Maybe not. That's the Requiem being called down. Second thought onto that. They pick up 2 on the kill. Evaniscus decides to go in with the team. The I think I can mentality may be on the bad side here for Velocity Esports. It's now NK Inc. thinking he can, and he goes down as well. Maple Street doesn't think so much, and he is going to go back. Well, he does think. He just thinks, no thank you.
This should be another turret and inhibitor at least for TSM here. Dyrus so tanky, he can easily tank up this turret.
Slow moving in now for TeamSoloMid. They're going to do this one with the hard hats on. They are not really worried about anything. Fallen rocks all around them, and they're just going to stay and take the damage here. Dyrus, the one to tank the turret. The inhibitor is not going to be in their eyes, though. They know when it's going to be too much, and they back out.
Yeah, 24-minute death timer is not too long, so it's enough to get that inhibitor turret, but not the inhibitor itself. They actually can recall now, and I would definitely like them to go for an exposed inhibitor over another Baron attempt. If you're Velocity, though,
if you say that, they're going to go for Baron.
All you Velocity fans, you should definitely be rooting for TSM to keep going back to Baron. Velocity fans are definitely all right with this because that is the opening Velocity's looking for. They want to get back in this game, and the reason, or the way they can do that is with a Baron steal. Even trading and stealing off Baron in mid would be huge for Velocity. So that's definitely what their hopes are, and they would like to get a ward inside that Baron pit before TSM come in, but it looks like it's too late.
Oh, Chris pulling out right away. Abaniscus trying to put the slow down. They look like they're going to make it out of this one safe, but now they know they're going to have to regroup. We actually have Vile Rose trying to grab his blue as fast as possible, and he's not even going to be able to do that. The team calls him back. TSM is not giving up any time here.
Yeah, they're going to go for the explosive inhibitor. Good call right there. They're going to end this up 1-2. Looks like we have Vile Rose coming in from the back, though. Here goes Velocity's last-ditch effort.
It's a good taunt. Chris coming out with home guards. He's forced to pool right away, which means he is targetable. Not even a Zonia's on him right now. Odd one getting hit up. It looks like Abaniscus puts himself in the fight. Where's the ulti? Throws it down into Wild Turtle. This could be exactly what they need, but a great flash by Wild. Gets himself to safety. The chase on NK Inc., but they focus down the meditate. It's only going to take a little bit longer to take him down, and there is enough focus on the team to keep going for the Nexus turrets.
They're going to just easily take this one down. It looks like it'll be the win for TSM right here. I kind of feel bad for Velocity with that early start, but well-deserved by TSM.
Wild Turtle really stepping his game back up, along with Reginald and the odd one coming out huge for this one. Well played by TeamSoloMid to find a win in Game 2 here in Week 2.
Yeah, let's listen to the reactions here, see if they're actually happy with how they finished that game off.
No, honestly, no, I couldn't land Qs anymore after the fucking spider. I was just like,
so, yeah, they definitely know there's a few things that could have gotten better.
So even with the W, people say you don't learn as much from winning all the time. You learn more from losing, but you can see there's learning points for Reginald there. And he was landing some of the Skittles, but unfortunate, some of the Skittles were bittersweet, and they were misses.
Yeah, nobody likes those yellow Skittles. Those are gross. I'll just throw all those
ones out. So you can see it did get changed up, right? Vile Rose switched a few things up. Maple Street was on an 80 carry that he usually plays. Chris going on Vladimir top lane. They had a comp that would have synergized awesome in a team fight if TSM ever allowed them to.
Yeah, it was just a really, really bad start to the game for Velocity. Like I said, I feel bad for them. Not only did TSM go straight at the carry, Maple Street, by giving Wild Turtle such an early edge, but they also took away so much of NK Inc.'s new hybrid Master Yi jungle extreme farm that he was going with. This goes to show the 3.8, stealing a buff away, just very, very hard to come back from.
It is crushing. Definitely some new things that we are seeing here because we were looking at both games, right? And same thing happened in both games. And we have to consider that teams sit out there, and we've heard them before. You know, we have this first round strat, but we could actually do that and tweak it a little bit to our favor. So even as teams watch each other sitting out in the lobby here because there's a TV and couches, things are changing right in midstream.
Yeah, and I'm really excited now. With the first 2 games that we've had on 3.8, the team that won the level 1 won the game. CLG had that ward.
Just focusing on that control.
That was huge for their early game so that they didn't get snowballed by Cloud9. And now TSM just completely rolls it. So very, very interesting first 2 games here. I really like what we're seeing.
So some awesome gameplay coming out of the 3.8 patch here. Coming up, we'll be joined by the TSM's Odd One and Velocity's Maple Street to talk about the battle between the brothers. Then it's time for our 3rd game of the day, Vulcan versus Curse. Week 2 of the NA LCS Summer Split. We'll be right back. Stick around.